Few figures in the world of modern rock are as controversial and admired as Ronnie Radke. His journey has taken him from a troubled childhood in Las Vegas and a prison cell to the top of the global charts. This is a story of fall, redemption, and an inhuman will to succeed that shatters all stereotypes. Ronald Joseph Radke was born in 1983 in Las Vegas, but his childhood was far from the glamour of neon signs. He grew up in a poor, broken home with two brothers. His mother, suffering from drug addiction, abandoned the family, and the boys were raised by their father and grandparents. The absence of motherly love, poverty, and school bullying left deep scars. His only escape became music. Ronnie learned to play guitar and piano, but along with it, he checked every box of a troubled teenager: alcohol, drugs, and dropping out of school for the dream of becoming a rock star. His first bands, like 3.0 and Lefty, were imitations of popular pop-punk bands like Blink-182, but even then, Ronnie was relentlessly writing material, searching for his voice and honing his style. A pivotal moment was meeting bassist Max Green. Together, they founded a band whose name would prove prophetic: Escape the Fate. Radke became its frontman. In 2005, the band won a local talent competition judged by members of My Chemical Romance and landed a contract with the renowned label Epitaph Records. The path to fame seemed clear. The band's debut album, Dying Is Your Latest Fashion, largely consisted of songs Ronnie had written at 15 and 16. The young band went on tour, but Radke's inner demons were not dormant. In 2006, before the album's release, tragedy struck. A conflict that escalated into a massive brawl ended in a shooting. As a result, 18-year-old Michael Cook died. Although Radke did not fire the fatal shot, he was convicted of battery and received 5 years of probation. The judge warned him, "If you come back to me, I will send you to prison." Despite his probation and a travel ban, Ronnie couldn't stop. The situation was worsened by his best friend, Max Green, who, while hiding his own addiction, continued to supply Radke with drugs. The owner of Epitaph Records personally paid for Ronnie's stay in a rehabilitation center, but he fled after just a few days. Drowning in debt and addiction, Radke began to steal and deceive people. Eventually, he was kicked out of the band he had founded himself. Soon after, for violating his probation, a warrant was issued for his arrest. He was a fugitive for nearly 6 months, but was eventually arrested in a police operation reminiscent of a scene from GTA. Ronnie Radke was sent to prison. It seemed like the end. His career was in ruins, his friends had turned their backs on him, and years behind bars loomed ahead. But it was in prison that Radke's most prominent trait emerged: his inhuman motivation. He didn't break. In his own words, he transformed his cell into a creative laboratory. He exercised, wrote songs, and trained his voice for 8 hours a day. The only person who supported him was his friend, Nason Schufler. It was he who kept Ronnie from giving up and helped him form a new band right from prison. They started a MySpace page, sought out musicians, and published messages from Radke, who was writing 1 song a day. The band's original name, From Behind These Walls, had to be changed due to copyright issues. Thus, Falling in Reverse was born. While his former colleagues from Escape the Fate were releasing new albums, Radke nurtured a plan for revenge and worked like a man possessed. In 2010, Ronnie was released. The first thing he did was assemble the lineup for Falling in Reverse and spend 3 months recording the debut album, The Drug in Me Is You. The record, composed entirely of songs written in prison, became his answer to everyone who had doubted him. The album soared to number 19 on the Billboard chart, and Radke himself was featured on lists of the greatest rock stars of the modern era. His boastful promises from prison had come true. The following years were turbulent: new arrests for fights and domestic violence, scandals, and performance bans. It seemed he was on the verge of returning to prison, but everything changed with the birth of his daughter, Willow Grace, in 2013. Fatherhood forced him to grow up. He began to resolve old conflicts. He made peace with former colleagues, including Craig Mabbitt, who had replaced him in Escape the Fate, and even with the mother who had abandoned him as a child. A turning point in the band's creativity came with the release of the single Popular Monster in 2019. The music video set a new benchmark for the entire metalcore scene. It was expensive, cinematic, and packed with special effects. In the lyrics, Radke offered a poignant autobiography of a man who had been through the hell of addiction in prison, but had achieved everything he ever dreamed of. The band completely abandoned the album format in favor of singles, each accompanied by a large-scale video. Ronnie Radke, much like the Linkin Park of a previous generation, blended heavy music with rap, but did so in the reality of the digital age, shattering the algorithms of TikTok and YouTube. He honed his vocal skills to perfection, becoming a versatile performer capable of anything, from a lyrical ballad to a brutal growl and virtuosic rap. In 2024, Ronnie Radke reached the apex of his creative journey with the release of the single and music video Ronald. This work is both a confession and a manifesto summarizing his entire life. The track is an epic collaboration with rap legend Tech N9 and shock rock icon Marilyn Manson. The video is a high-budget short film that visualizes Ronnie's path through his main triggers: betrayal, prison, drugs, and fame. Of particular note is the appearance of Marilyn Manson, who appears in the guise of a father figure or perhaps a demonic mentor, uttering the line, "You have become what they fear because you are them." This collaboration feels like a symbolic union of two generations of rock provocateurs. Ronald is not just a song, it's a monumental statement from an artist who has accepted his demons, turned pain into strength, and claimed a throne he built himself. He proved that one can climb out of the deepest pit and emerge stronger, so long as their obsession with creation is more powerful than any obstacle.